I'm gonna say your real name. It keeps happening. Like, in my head, it's just Lexi.
Okay,
Oh
whatever. Just keep it, I guess. You fucking nerd. I can't believe
The L just comes naturally.
you gotta keep that
Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Overwatch Talks. It's good to see you guys again. So we have a lot of good things to talk about today. As usual, I have with me Arden and Ulysses from last time. Hello, how you doing?
I'm great. I'm good.
Ulysses, what are you playing this time?
I'm playing Overwatch right now.
Are you playing? Are you playing Quick Play?
I'm playing arcade.
Oh.
I'm just trying to get those loot boxes, baby. You know.
I haven't gotten. I have 3,000 like currency in the bank ready to spend on whatever comes up next. So like I'm good on arcade for now. Okay, so we'll start with our intro section of rants and or updates. Arden, what do you have?
Well, I have a update, not really a rant this time, but I finally got a gaming desktop.
Woo!
So happy. Yay! It's so pretty. It's better than my poopy laptop. I can actually play the game on Ultra, and everything was in my price range of at least $600 to $700, which is amazing.
That's a good area to be in.
Yeah, I could finally look at Mercy and just kind of drool because she's amazing.
Yeah, you've been waiting a long time for this. I'm excited.
I really have, and with the new gaming desktop came my first placement match win today, so excited for that. It was very stressful though. I literally carried the team as a Mercy.
How many pistol shots were involved?
Well, in the play of the game, not only did I get the 4-man res, but I also got the 2 kills.
Hey.
So it was great. Like, I was happy.
Well, awesome. Glad to hear. Ulysses?
Don't really have any updates. I mean, everything's going good, man. You know, we're just testing out some new things, Quintin. You know, you know how we do. So you know, we're just testing out some things, and we'll make sure to tell the podcast about it.
Okay. So I guess that goes on to me, right? So rather than a rant, I have some news to bring. So I decided to get a new account for Overwatch because, as you know, as I've stated this in prior episodes, where I feel like I've been in ELO hell, and I haven't been able to truly test what I'm capable of because I'm constantly. So the situation I was in before was, you know, every game in competitive or quick play, whichever one, mostly competitive. I would be really frustrated with my team every game. And I was constantly getting 3 to 4 gold medals every game, and I always was like, I felt like I was having to babysit my team all the time, and they were constantly making mistakes, and I was constantly having to give orders and call out shots and stuff. And it was like, I had to spend half of my resources as a player managing my team, and that kind of impacted how well I could play because I was so focused on like, Reinhardt, don't overextend. Lucio, be sure to speed us in at the right time. McCree, stop going off on your own. You know, like I was constantly having to babysit people and I got really upset. And so I was always complaining like, oh, why am I stuck in silver? Why am I stuck in gold? I don't belong here. And I had people tell me like, or at least hint at me, if not straight up tell me like, are you sure you don't belong there? Are you like trash talking all these people and you're not even that good? And I was like, no, I am good. And so
you're not really trash talk either. I'm the trash talker, honestly.
Yeah, you are.
I know Joseph, like he doesn't play Overwatch, but he hears me talk about it all the time. I'm like, oh, I don't belong in gold. I'm definitely not silver. And he's like, oh, you've been trash talking for months, Quintin. Are you sure you don't belong there? And I'm like, how dare? And
Joseph can't say anything though.
So. But I have confidence not only in myself, but I think most of the players I play with on a regular basis have seen that I'm far beyond a regular gold player. But I really wanted to put it to the test, so I started researching a little bit on YouTube how MMR systems work within Blizzard, and I very quickly found out that not only was there a case of inflation and whatnot and deflation, there was also the ranking systems based on quick play MMR. And I was like, oh my good gravy, because I don't ever play seriously in quick play. Like, that's where I test out new characters, that's where I practice, and that's where I just kind of goof around and just have fun. Because I play so much competitive that sometimes I just burn myself out and I need to have that game where I'm just Sombra trolling, you know? And so I just go into quick play and I do that. And so I've been doing that for months, and then I found out that the majority of your MMR comes from quick play for placements. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I completely trashed my MMR. And so, as you know, I started out in silver in season 2, season 3, and I worked my way up to platinum. Like, you know, it was a long, arduous grind. I was like sweating it out, and I was it was so hard to climb from like low silver all the way up to platinum, even if it was just 2501. But I was like, yes, I climbed up literally 2 tiers. And Lord knows how many bad players I had to carry and how many teams I had to micromanage, and it was just so worth it for me in the end to see that tier, and I was so proud of myself. And I was like, yes, Blizzard finally must know that I belong here in Platinum, please. Like, I climbed up 2 tiers, I grinded, I belong up here. I did this to myself. And then, so Season 4 comes around, and Ulysses and I did pretty okay with our placement matches. Like, we both played really good that night.
Hey, what was it? 5 wins, 4 losses, and 1 tie, right?
Something like that. Yeah, it was.
But it was our team. Okay, it was the first game. It was a really bad team. We got a super bad team. We got all the golds. The next game, our whole entire team was coordinated, and it just kept going on and on.
Like, you and I individually did really well. We had good positioning. We got the right kills. We focused the right targets. We used our ults respectively. Like, but our the inconsistency of our teammates kind of threw us off, and even as DPS characters, I think I played some healing as well, but we couldn't carry every game, and so we kind of ended up with like a 50% or so win rate, which by Blizzard's calculations, if you've got around 50%, you are where you belong. So we placed, and I got dropped from platinum to silver again, and I was so mad. I was out there playing like a god. I grinded up to platinum. I did my placement matches. I did the best that I could, but they threw me back in silver, and I was mad. So I decided to put it to the test. So I got this new account, and it was purely solo queue. That way I could avoid any misconstruences with the numbers. Because if I were to play with Lexi, they would match me preferably with, the average is you take the higher number and the lower number and you smack them in the middle, so you're never going to be at your number. And I want to see where I am at my number. So I started playing on the new account. I mean, I'm just saying, your MMR is trash just like mine. So I had to to have a fresh start, I just need fresh numbers, and that means I can't have anyone else playing with me. And so it was solo queue only. And in the first couple, the first 6 to 10 games, somewhere between there, I was, I kid you not, I was a god among men. Like, the winning team was decided when I joined the game. And I went in and, as soldier, and I would just single-handedly wipe the enemy team over and over and over again with, there were occurrences where they wiped my team and I was the only one left, and it was 1v6, and I went in and I just destroyed them. And Blizzard very quickly caught on to me after those 6 to 10 games, and I started getting matched up with Grandmasters and Masters players.
Shit you not, he sent me pictures.
I have more pictures. I took more.
This fucking silver, on another account, got matched up with Grandmasters, and he was winning.
And yeah, I was completely holding my own. And it was, it wasn't just Grandmasters. There was Diamonds, there was Masters, there was Grandmasters. And so, I spiked, and then when I hit Grandmasters and Masters, my win rate started to fluctuate a little more. I wasn't just winning every game. Undecidedly. And so it was a big relief because I started playing with teams I started getting matched up with players I've never played before. People who are, I wasn't having to micromanage teams anymore. And I was so relieved. It was fun because I could just focus on me. The Reinhardt was always in the right position. The Pharah wasn't too close to the enemy. The Tracer wasn't going in on her own and getting suicided or anything. The Genjis were really good, and I kid you not, the Genjis were really good. They weren't trash Genjis, and for once in my life in Overwatch, I didn't have to babysit. I was like, oh my god, I can just play the game and I can focus on me and I can do my job, do what I need to do, and it really showed in my performance. I played better than I ever have before in Overwatch, I think, and it was a lot of fun. I've never experienced that gameplay before. So the thing about when I play on my old account, I struggle, and each game is really hard, but I wouldn't call it a challenge, because the reason why these games are so hard is because, my teammates are making mistakes, they're out of position, they're making the wrong plays, they're wasting their ults, and as a result, they die, and then I'm kind of just stuck in a 1v6 situation, and of course that's going to be hard, that's difficult, but it's not like a true challenge of my skill. That's just me trying to make up for everyone else's losses. But in this new account, I was playing against DPS characters that were equal to my skill, if not greater, and it was a really enjoyable experience. There was these really good pro Widowmakers, there was these really good pro Genjis, there was really good McCrees, there were really good soldiers, and I was completely at home, and I actually did, and much to people's disbeliefs, I did really well against them. There was a pro Tracer and a pro Genji. They were both, the Tracer was a Diamond, the Genji was a Masters, and they both came at me at once, and I was playing Soldier, and I took them both out by myself. And I was like, yes! And it was a lot of fun. I was playing against people of my skill, and instead of getting frustrated and mad and salty at my team, I was just having fun, because it was a fair fight. And it was just something I haven't had before in Overwatch. It was very refreshing. And then, so I went over how I got matched up with Grandmasters. But then as the wins started fluctuating, and depending on the time of day I'm at, I got to play with Platinums, Diamonds, Grandmasters, Masters, and then some Golds got thrown in there, some Silvers. And there was, I kid you not, there was a game with 2 Diamonds, a Gold, a Silver, and a Grandmaster. So there was just a whole bunch of people slapped together in this one group. But of course it was like 3 a.m., so I think they're struggling to find players in NA to match up with each other on a rare basis. But that kind of concerned me, because I was like, well, the matchmaking's kind of flimsy here. Like, it's not consistent. And that's going to reflect in my numbers. So let me see where I'm at here. So I go through my 25 matches, and I'm consistently getting matched up with Diamonds. That's about where I'm, there's not enough Grandmasters to be matched up with Grandmasters all the time, and same thing with Masters. They represent less than 10% of the player base. So I got matched up with a lot of Diamonds, some Masters, some Grandmasters, a lot of Platinums, because there's 28% of the player base in Platinum. And that's consistently where I was, Platinums and Diamonds, throughout the 25 levels. So when I hit level 25, I went straight into competitive with a 54% win rate. So I was like, okay, 54%, Diamonds and Platinums, I think that's mathematically where I should be, right? Like, I feel like that's where I should be. And it felt very comfortable, it felt very fun. So I did my placement matches, and I will tell you the order in which I won and lost these games. So I lost the first match, just barely. Like, it was great. Like, it was overtime to the max. Like, if anyone left the point for half a second, it would just go off. And then I won the next round. And then I lost the next round, so it was a loss-win-loss. And then I proceeded to win, 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 win. I got six wins in a row. And then I drawed the last match. So I was like, I am like, I was shaking in my boots. I was like, yes, I'm going to get Diamond. Yes. I'm going to finally be where I belong. I did so well. And then, so where do you guys think I placed?
I think Plat.
Lexi? Probably Plat, I guess.
We don't even know. Like, I've been bothering him about this all fucking day, and he hasn't told me. He's like, wait for the podcast. Wait for the podcast. So I don't know. I think Plat. Just because it won't boost you up that much. You know what I mean? It won't give you Diamond immediately.
Well, wait.
I hope you got Bronze.
It's Plat, then Diamond?
Yes. Yes.
Well, I probably Diamond, I guess. I saved Diamond.
Say what?
You're very generous. I got gold with
What?
2,449, which is 51 SR from platinum.
From Plat. Okay.
So I look at this number and I'm definitely like, really? Like, you put me in gold? Like, I spent all 25 levels playing with diamonds and platinums and you put me in gold? And I was like, mathematically, that just doesn't add up to me. But it's 51 SR from platinum. So I'm okay with that. Like, I'm within platinum's reach. I can climb up there. But I really feel like I should be mid-platinum.
I was thinking low plat just because like you are only level 25 or 26 by the time you finish your placing probably. So
Yeah.
it couldn't get an accurate read.
It might have been my...
It doesn't want to start you off like...
Yeah, maybe I should have kept going in quick play until a certain level. But,
No, but this is how we wanted to do it, you know?
yeah.
It's not that much higher, because, like, okay, so we didn't tell them how our placements went. So, well, we did kind of. So, Season 4 placements, we both got the same exact thing. It was like loss, win, or win, loss. And we got 5 wins, 4 losses, 1 tie. I got placed 2056, and Quintin, you got 1970? Something like that?
I think a little lower. I think it was like 17 something. I don't know.
So like it wasn't bad. It was bad.
It was bad.
But
So-
it's not that much better than what you got. So
Well-
the question I think now is it worth it?
The thing is if I'm being placed in 1700 in my old account, and I'm getting placed at around 2500...
No. You were placed in 1907.
Oh, okay. Well, I got placed about 500 SR higher in my new account than I did in my old account. So, yes, it is... It does show that there's a difference here. It shows that MMR does make a difference with your quick play. Because... I mean... there's a difference here.
Do you think it could be because of your level, though? Because, okay, I'm level 111. It's not that I don't play the game. It's just the fact that I don't play the game as much as some people. So that means that I have less, I guess, matches, you know, just to base it off of less quick play matches. Most of all the matches I play are very, like, I want to win because I don't play that much. So maybe, like, that could be, you know, just another reason because you're such a high level on your first account. You're 420, almost?
Yeah, I'm 427 or something like that. So I want to go over the MMR system is based on wins and losses as a base. So it's either you win or lose, and then from there they'll tack on some extra SR for your performance. Just a minuscule amount. So let's say, for example, a win is 50 SR gained, and a loss is 50 SR lost. That's the base number. And then there's win streaking into account, so you have multipliers for winning multiple games in a row. And then you might get, instead of 50 SR, 57 SR if you get 3 gold medals. You know, something like that. I think that's generally how the MMR system works in Overwatch. So I don't like that it doesn't take into account... a game could be so close. Like, the games that I played in the placement matches, and even just quick play with my new account, it was not often that I just, like, decidedly lost. Like, every game that we lost, we were just a hair from winning.
Yeah.
You know, it was always close. So I'm like, I don't feel like I deserve 100 SR margin loss. Because it's like, they gained 50 and I lost 50, so they're 100 SR better off than me. And I'm like, they don't deserve to be 100 SR off for me. Like, we were this close. Like, so I don't like that. So let's go on to say, should you buy a new account? I think you'll definitely see a better number than you do with your old account. But it's not going to be vastly better, but it will be better. So it's like if you're stuck in silver and you just don't feel like you can get out, you can do what I did and get up to around platinum. But it's not going to get you to like diamond or anything like that. So if you want to get to diamond, like I have like a 55% win rate in the diamond/platinum range, and that put me in like high gold. So if you're asking for more than 55% win rate, that's a lot to ask for, especially the inconsistencies with quick play being taken into account. Because in quick play, you're gonna face people, and I dealt with it myself. There's teams here and there that are like me in quick play. They don't play serious. They're in competitive all the time. These diamonds and masters, and it's like, what, we need to cool off. Let's go to quick play and just like goof around. And so I did have a few teams like that, and that caused me to lose a few. So it's like, that's just out of my control. I can't. When I tried to, when one of my teams was not playing like they should, and I tried to correct them, they were like, "Dude, it's quick play. It doesn't matter. Shut up." Like, so I was like, "Well, this is out of my control. I can't make them play seriously." So I think it's impossible to get an accurate read of your skill in quick play. But if you have an old account that's lasted you several months, it's probably going to benefit you if you get a new account, because you're better than you were 6 months ago.
I don't know, when it comes to like, I have all my unlockables and everything, like, because I would have done it. If you would have gotten like maybe mid-high plat, I would have done it. But
I don't know. Yeah, like I don't know. I think the only thing that's scaring me away from it is everything that I've already earned for the characters. I'm a big on like character customization. So knowing that I have all these skins, all these emotes, it really brings the joy into the game where I don't become stressed, even though I have people screaming at me. For example, Joe. Anyway, I'm just, I don't know. I just thinking that starting a new account and not having those skins that I earned, I'm like, I'm not gonna have the ones I want. I don't know. And then even then, if it's not gonna be a big difference, I don't see why I would do it personally. I can just easily get my rank or whatever, join games with you guys, and then just keep.
So here's one thing I want to note. I think that the main reason I would buy an account is not just so you can get a higher rank. The thing about getting the new account that I really support is having a fun account and a serious account. Because if what I said about quick play is correct, that means you two can never play. You guys always have to be serious in quick play, and so that means you can't practice new characters. You can't learn new characters.
I think
that's not a good
arcade.
Go into arcade.
That's not a healthy learning ground to learn competitive play with a new character. Like, if you want to learn Sombra for competitive, don't go to arcade. Like, what are you going to do in arcade? Play Capture the Flag with Sombra? That's not the same thing.
Yeah.
It's not the same thing. It's just, you play, like, brawls and stuff. Like, people in arcade don't always play seriously. It's like, it's worse than quick play, because that's where you go if you really want to goof off. So I have my serious account where I'm always going to solo queue. I'm never going to play with anyone. And what I'm planning on doing myself is, I think if I'm going to get so I'm at this high gold, I'm really close to platinum. But my plan is I want to use my old account to practice and get better. Because climbing through platinum is going to be hard. That is the hardest rank to climb through, according to all the YouTubers and stuff. And I think that while I am really good, I'm not skilled enough to carry through platinum. So I think I still have a lot of room to grow as a DPS player. If I were to describe myself as a DPS player where I stand, I'm where a DPS player should be. Like, I'm on the high ground, I'm targeting the right characters, I'm using my ult correctly, and I'm just doing everything like a soldier should do. But the thing is I don't have that sick McCree aim like IDDQD where I'm just like, dead, 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 and I can wipe an entire team by myself as McCree. I'm not that good yet.
So you're not like me.
Oh, because you're like that. But like, I'm a good soldier, but I'm not a pro soldier yet. So I need to get there, and then I'll go back to my new account and keep going. But that's what my plan is. I still need to grow more. And so does Ulysses.
We'll see.
Oh my god.
Honestly, I want to climb from where we are. I like where we are.
Honestly, if I'm going to be frank, Ulysses, if we're going to climb into Platinum and through it, you need to learn a character with a higher skill ceiling than Soldier.
McCree! I know McCree, I just don't like to play him because he's not good right now. I could learn Genji. I could become a pro Genji, but Genji's not
Genji,
that fun.
Widow, and McCree are the DPS of higher rank. Like, that's and Pharah, too. Well,
No, Pharah drops off. Pharah drops off hard.
Yeah, Pharah is better for the
she's a low SR type of gal.
But
she rains hell on those.
Its characters, like, it depends. If you're a pro, like, I know a grandmaster on YouTube named Frito who plays, his main is Pharah, and even those pro Widowmakers up in grandmasters have a hard time dealing with them. So there is a high skill ceiling with her. You just have to know how to use her. In fact, I played a really sick Pharah on my new account on one match on Oasis, and I was single-handedly carrying my team as her, and I alone took on all 6 of the enemy team, and I killed 4 of them with my M1, not my ult. So Pharah is really good if you know how to use her. I don't think I could use her that well again. Like, I think that was just lucky of me. But I think we need to pick up more than just Soldier. Like, Soldier can carry you to Platinum, but if you want to get past that, you've got to pick up Genji or Widowmaker or something. So we need to work on that.
God, if I can get up to where you guys are, I'm really...
What do you mean up to where we are? I'm low gold, he's high silver.
Well, with his other account? Wait, Quintin, are you going to play with anybody on your other account, or is it just going to be...
As of right now, I think it's just going to be me, because I like to know exactly where I stand. And I think if I start playing with other people, it's gonna start
It's either gonna inflate or deflate.
It's gonna inflate or deflate my numbers, and I don't want that. I want it to be just pure me.
See, I'm too lazy to fucking get the new account. I already know it.
And
I'm just like, no thank you.
And there's no way to really climb, I think, unless you're a DPS player. Like, if I had gone through all those matches on my new account as a tank or a healer, or actually, let me get you some statistics. So, I have a photo here showing what my things are. So I won 33 matches as Soldier, and I lost 25. So that was a 8-win margin. And so that was very positive. That was a very positive character for me to play. But then, of course, when I joined the game, there's people who forced me off of DPS. They were like, they picked DPS first. And so I picked Ana as my next pick. So that was 18 to 21, which was 3 short of the wins. So playing healer hurt my SR. Or not my SR, my MMR.
And you're a good Ana. I can say that you're a good Ana. So that's not because you're not a good Ana. That's because you have less carry potential as Ana.
That was exactly it.
Well, although Ana does have good carry potential, she's still a support, and she still needs a good team around her to do...
it doesn't matter how many sleep darts I land, or how many anti-nades I throw on them, or how many heals I give the Soldier. If he's just not killing anything, nothing's being killed. And I can only keep them alive for so long. So... But 18 to 21, that was pretty close. It wasn't like a horrid loss rate.
It was good. It was good.
I was able to carry a lot as Ana. And then when the healer slots and the DPS slots were full, my tank of choice was Roadhog with 4 to 5. So 4 wins, 5 losses, which was close. 1 loss more. And then when main healer slot was taken, and literally when I was just cucked out of everything, I played Zenyatta or Lucio, so I won 1 game with Lucio and lost 3, which was pretty bad. And then with Zenyatta, I won 2 games and I lost 3, which was 1 short. So DPS really shows what your carry potential is. Ana was very Roadhog was Zenyatta was but Soldier way up there. So DPS is the way to climb. I think... Oh, yes, Arden?
That's basically it, really. I'm just kind of thinking. I don't know.
So, and that's with Anna. Like, I barely was able to carry with Anna, and I'm a really good Anna. So if you were to play Mercy, like, oh, it just would not go well. Like, there was... Ugh. There's no way a Mercy can do it.
Well, you were by yourself, weren't you?
I
think
was.
it's harder to... in my opinion, it's so much harder to play a support character when you're by yourself. Like, with my first win for my placement match, I was literally... You guys heard me. I was screaming, basically. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe they're doing this. I can't believe they're doing that. I had to be... Like you, I had to constantly... watch them and tell them what to do. I don't know, man.
Well, just bear in mind that that's what the games normally are for our lower ranks, but when I was playing with Diamonds and Masters and Platinums, that it's not so much that's the case. It was just that the teams were really good, but...
It just, I don't know, it just might be that that's not your...
So we were all on
area?
comms, we were all communicating, the tanks were good, the DPS was good, my Anna was good, but I think it was safe to say that I was a better DPS than most of the DPSs I played with, so putting me on healer was a loss. But it's not like, help, somebody save me from the Winston, and everyone ignores me, or it's not like they're not listening to me. We are communicating. It's just the team's limits are the team's limits, and someone's got to lose, someone has to win. Same thing as DPS, same thing as tank, but it's just having me on support was a disadvantageous position. But had I been Mercy, like when you're playing up at those levels, I addressed this in episode 2, I believe, or episode 1, one of those, where I was like, in the gold and below, yeah, you can play Mercy because no one else plays Anna. Like, you can play Mercy there. But once you go above gold into platinum and higher, no way. There's no way Mercy can survive.
I would not play... Okay, I wouldn't play Mercy if I was the single healer. I would honestly pick Anna, even though I'm kind of not that good with her. Which I still need to practice.
But you can't survive through platinum and higher if you're not that good with her. Like if you're just an okay Anna, you're gonna lose. Like you have to be like they had me on my toes as Anna. I was like, it was hard.
I always feel like you should meta doesn't matter. What matters more is what you're good with, in my opinion.
But I honestly also think that I could kind of push my way through it because again, I've seen other people that are masters and up there that play Mercy. I'm like, I can be that.
Well, because Mercy does have a low skill ceiling too. So
you're literally physically bound to how good you can be by your character. But yeah, it's I don't like you can go on YouTube and look at these masters play Mercy and all that, and the reason why you're like, yeah, I can do that too is because Mercy has a low skill ceiling. Like the pros can only go so high with her, and if you can go that high yourself, that's easy to do since she's...
I think the highest skill ceiling right now is Sombra.
Yeah, she's pretty hard. But I'm not saying that Mercy's like is easy peasy lemon squeezy to play. She takes skill, but I will admit that I don't want to know. So I think I could be better with tempo resing because I don't practice Mercy enough. But I think I'm still good at tempo resing, but I could sharpen it just a bit more. But I think I can consider myself a master at Mercy. And I became a master at Mercy within like 2 days, maybe 3 days. It doesn't take long to learn her if you're really skilled at Overwatch. But with Anna, it took me maybe a week or 2 to learn her to the level I have now. And I can still be better. I still miss sleep darts. I still miss my shots on the enemies and stuff. I still miss my teammates every once in a while. So Anna's just... her skill ceiling's infinitely good. And so... you can go on YouTube and watch the Masters play Mercy, but if you were to go on their Overbuff account and look at their Mercy stats, they probably have more losses than they do wins. Even though they are really good with her. Would you agree with that?
Completely.
Right.
I feel like an even better way to say it was, okay, let's say we have the same good player, right? And they're just as good at Mercy as they are at Anna. they're gonna pick Anna just because there's so much more you can do with her, and there's so much more value and more outplay potential.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, I mean that's just me. I don't know any good supports in pro play, honestly. Shows they don't get enough support, like enough praise, but yeah, I think hands down.
But I think that when you look at these characters I played, like Lucio had a real bad loss rate, Zenyatta was shaky, Anna was shaky, but that just, I think one thing that misconstrues within Overwatch is they judge you based on wins and losses alone. But, you know, when I was out there playing Lucio, I was a really good Lucio. You know, I was speeding them at all the right times. I was healing at all the right times. I was switching between passive heals and passive speed as necessary. I was wall riding. I was jumping. I was DPSing. I was dropping the beat at the perfect moments. I was playing the best Lucio you could ask for as far as the platinum level goes. And it wasn't enough. Like, you know, it's so much dependence on the tank and the support. But Blizzard doesn't see that. They just see it as a loss, and they're just like, well, you suck. And I'm like, like, what? Like,
You what, man?
I don't like how black and white the system is.
I mean, they can't have a human person watching every single.
I know, but I think that at least that goes to show with
They
this
don't
whole
have that
new
much
account
money,
business,
dude.
it's like, you're never going to get, with a game like Overwatch, you're never going to get placed exactly where you should be placed. And it sucks, but that's just the way it is. I think where I got placed right now is as accurately as they can place me, and I still think that it's pretty far off the margin. But that's where you say you just have to grind up. And good luck to myself climbing through platinum. But anyway, concerning how ELO works again, there's that pyramid system where gold is this big, and then it shrinks as you come to the ends. So I think that the system really incentivizes people being placed in gold, like myself. Unless you have like an 80% win rate, then maybe they'll switch you around.
The thing is, like, so whenever it comes to the, I feel okay because they never overshoot your placement. They always place you lower than what they even think that you should be placed. So they probably think that for us that we should be placed gold, but they're putting us in like silver, low gold, just because they don't want to overshoot it. Because they're like, oh, if you really are gold, you can make it there yourself. But the thing is that the whole system is kind of bullshit in the sense that it's really hard to climb, so you can't really get there by yourself.
Oh yeah.
Even if you do deserve to get there, because in League of Legends there's 5 people to a team. And that one extra person might not like seem like that big of a deal, but it's a huge deal. It's one more person to worry about.
In our
one
case,
more person to be bad.
It's a 20% or so deal. Like the maximum impact you can have on the game is 20% of it. You're only 20. You're one of 6. So what's that number?
It's like 15 or some shit. Let's just.
Like, it's not high. Like, the amount of impact you can have on the game by yourself is not that high. Like, it's so, in a game of Overwatch where you're being placed up against strangers and you're having to depend on them, and it's a different stranger every game, it's just so inconsistent. And in the lower ranks, if you get placed too low, oh my god, you end up like me trying to babysit, and it's just so hard to grind up. And I managed to do it, but, oh god, it's hard. And with the win streak system, it makes it harder because it's like you need consistency to succeed. But how can you be consistent if your team is literally changing every single game?
I mean, which is also what keeps the game very fresh. What keeps it very, and that's why I feel like every character should be viable because there shouldn't really be a set meta because every character should be being played the same exact amount in a sane world. But that can't happen. Just like having the same player on the same team every single time, which is why 6-stacks they're getting rid of that basically, in the sense that you're facing someone that's way better than you in every sense.
Yeah. So with the whole consistency thing I brought up, it's like, well, if you don't like having a different team every game, just 6-stack. But having watched your Overwatch specifically, and how they talked about ELO, or the MMR system, whatever, they said that you're better off solo queuing. Like, they said that solo queuing now is the #1 way to climb because...
I thought it was duo.
Well, duo is considered solo queuing because solo queuers get mashed up with duo. You know, but what they were specifically saying is do not 6-stack. Do not
Or
do
don't
that.
even stack. Yeah.
They said
Yes.
in the way the system should work is if you have to rely on win streaks, you have to rely on consistency. And if you have to rely on consistency, therefore, you should 6-stack to have the same team every game. But the thing is when you have a lot, they said themselves that a lot of 6-stack diamond teams, the players are actually like masters and grandmasters level, but because they're 6-stacking, they're being held down in diamond. And, you know, that's what they were claiming if by looking at the patterns of MMR. So it's like you're punished for solo queuing, you're punished for 6-stacking, and you're punished for everything in between. Like, solo queuing and duo queuing are optimal, and 6-stacking is bad, and then everything in between is worse than both of them. Like, 5...
I feel like duo or maybe even 3, because at duo you have, what, like 30% on the game? Which is enough to carry, in my opinion. Like, okay, sometimes. Because with us, you know, we couldn't carry some of those times that we were placing, so... That's
well, if everyone else is contributing 0, then yeah, like exactly. 30%'s not even close.
if you can have 50%, that'd be good. But the thing is that if you get a 3-stack, that's whenever it's gonna start matching you up against 4-stacks and 3-stacks. Even as a 2-stack, you're gonna even as a duo, you're gonna get matched up with a 3-stack or maybe even a 4-stack. But as a 3-stack, you're gonna get matched up with a 4-stack most likely.
Yeah. So statistically speaking, 3-stack to 5-stack is the worst possible place to be. 3-stacking, maybe you could pull it off, yeah. But quadruple and quintuple are the worst of the worst. And then 6-stacking is going to hold you back. Solo queuing, you know, your impact on the game as an individual's minuscule. So duo queuing's a safe middle ground to be at. So I think, Blizzard, please, just, you have to...
It's hard to fix. It's so hard
also,
to fix, you know?
I think the #1 problem is, like I said, these old accounts that have lasted months and months and months, the stats you had when you first started the game are literally dragging down the stats you have today. So when you have an old account, it's literally impossible to be in the place you belong, because, you know, you take the lowest scores you've ever had and the best scores you ever had, and you meet them halfway in the middle, and that's where you're placed. And so you really should be way up here, but you're being dragged down here because of the crap you pulled 6 months ago. And it's impossible to be where you should be with these old accounts. And I'm like, Blizzard, that's retarded. Like, no, stop. What Blizzard should be doing is resetting your MMR every season. You know, like a fresh season, fresh start, build up your stats from the ground up.
It's really hard to do, though, because then you have to make the players go to level 25 again. I feel like they should use competitive.
I think that's fine. That's fine, because then you'll at least be placed where you should be placed, and you won't have...
I feel like they should be using competitive MMR now, because competitive MMR, it's been 2 seasons now. It's enough-ish to do it. So,
but even then, like, the longer that the competitive mode lasts, it's going to end up like quick play again. Like, each season has to be fresh, or else your Season 1 scores are going to drag down your Season 6 scores.
And let's not forget about the prior to Season 1. This game didn't always have competitive. And before competitive, what did we play? We always played quick play. We played quick play until, I think you played until you were level like 100, 150?
Something like that, yeah.
And that was just quick
these
play.
ancient scores of back when I was like a Hanzo main are dragging down my scores now as a DPS platinum level player, and so it's forcing me down into silver and gold, and it's the only way to escape it was to buy a new account, and that makes me mad. So
they want the money,
and it's like, what's the point of adding a new season if you don't even get a fresh start? You're just going to be placed back where your MMR says you should be. So there's no point in restarting the season. And and supports are never going to get
the love that they deserve.
Supports literally have to do OQ at least. Like, supports can't solo queue. So I think that players like Arden are going to get screwed over until they find a new system to help supports be recognized at the level they should be at. Because the support role just can't carry, and when it's just depending on a win-loss rate, like if the Blizzard just looks at your wins and losses, supports are gonna suffer. I don't. I mean, Overwatch is a new game, and they're, the dev team is so focused on putting out new content, because when Overwatch came out, it was really unfinished, kind of. Like, there was just quick play, basically, and AI. That's it. You paid like $40 to $60 for just quick play. And there was just a few characters, compared to League of Legends and Heroes of the Storm and all that, Overwatch has very few characters. And so Blizzard's been rapidly... They put out the game really early to start making money so that they can keep up their progress. And then, so now they're really trying to rush out all this content to complete the game. And because of that, they don't have the resources they need and the time to focus on these issues for the community. So until Overwatch, I don't think it's gonna. We have to wait a very long time for them to fix these issues, I think. And it's gonna take a lot of work.
I mean, they're still not fixed as is. The game has been out for a very long time. Not as long as Heroes of the Storm.
It's been out for a year.
There's not a lot of characters. I don't care about that. It's cool because the game.
Well, they're so focused on
has been out for such a long time.
Putting out new animations and new characters and new maps, and they're trying to get Overwatch League started. And if I don't, are you keeping up with Overwatch League?
No.
It is going to be huge. It is going to be massive, and I've been looking into it, and I'm like, oh my god, this is a huge thing they're doing. No. We cannot.
Why?
Well, here's the process to do it. You have to rank up to a really high level in competitive, first of all, which we're not at. And then once you've done that...
New accounts after new accounts after new accounts.
Oh my god. And then after that, you've got to compete on the local level and then work your way up, tournament, and you have to keep winning and winning and winning and winning until you start making it to, you make a name for yourself. And then once you've made a name for yourself...
Serious?
And then once
they have to ask you?
And then once you've made a name for yourself, you can be invited to like an invitational, which is, you're on the road there. And then if you win the invitationals, then you're put into... if you're winning the invitationals, then you move up to the big invitationals, and then from there, you are invited into a pool of people for Overwatch League. And then from there, they take this giant pool of invitational winners, and they pick just a handful for each team. And then they're put on... and then they're put on contracts, and the organizations are...
Wait, contracts?
Yes. And then they're put on the organization's teams. And then, so what the organizations are doing is they're paying millions of dollars to brand themselves to a city. So like the Miami Misfits or the North Carolina Envies.
Do they have one for San Antonio?
No. Well, that's not... the bidding is happening soon. Investors are in the process right now. So what's happening is the goal is every major city in the world at some point will have their own Overwatch team, much like the like the San Antonio Spurs. Like, it's going to be like that. Like, each city has their team. Only the best of the best are making it onto Overwatch League for this.
That's crazy.
So, no. We're nowhere even close, Ulysses. People like Taimu are the people who make it. Taimu, by the way, is someone with who gets 95 to 100% accuracy with McCree with headshots. So we're not even close.
You never know. Maybe they'll dip into the silver ring. They'll be like, hey,
maybe they'll get misplaced into silver, right? Oh my gosh. So, to answer your question, no, we're not even close to Overwatch League.
It's okay. One day we will.
I really do want to do tournaments, though. I want to find some tournaments and go to LANs and stuff. And
no, we should. Yeah, we really should, man.
Well, actually, we're not. We have to do online tournaments. LANs are not just for anyone, unfortunately. In any case,
I wish they'd look for some.
so of course, everyone thinks that they are too low ranked, and I think everything we just said explains that. If you have an old account, you're going to be placed lower than you should be because of your old stats. If you're a new player and you're lowly ranked, that means you suck. Like,
Damn, son.
I mean, I'm just saying. Well, I'm talking like bronze and silver. Like, if you're gold, you're probably like me, where you should be up in like platinum, but they plunked you in gold. But if you're in bronze, for sure, like, I'm sorry, but
It doesn't shoot at that low, guys.
if you get a new account, if you had an old account like me and you get a new account and then you place bronze, I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know what to say to that. Like,
you know exactly what you're saying. You fucking asshole.
So I think there's that. I think they should get rid of the win streak system. I think they need to revamp the multiplier system. I think that's what they need to do.
That's gonna kill their team.
Because if they can't make it consistent, then don't make the system reliant on consistency. That's all I'm asking for. Like, if you're gonna require consistency, then make it consistent. But if you can't make it consistent, don't require consistency. You know, that's you're asking an unreasonable request of people. So that's just what I'm.
Yeah, fuck you, Blizzard.
That's the only solution I have. I mean, it's such a hard. I don't blame them. It's hard. I can't think of any solutions on my own to make it an accurate system. The only way to judge people's skill is watching them in person, and you just can't do that when you're Blizzard. So.
And even then, like, you just watch them, and like, how are you gonna decide? Like, I guess you go in goal. And
I think instead of a flat system, like, depending on how close the games are, that should reflect your SR and how well you performed.
They have to add more code, because like, how do they know if the game was close? If it was overtime, I guess.
Yeah, if it's like, how long was the overtime, and if you lost, how many ticks did you get? Like, did you get the first tick? Did you get the second tick? Did you not even touch the point? That is a lot of coding, but that
is true, because like, okay,
you might as well do it because that's your job. You should strive to make the game better. Like,
Yeah, you're right.
So
because like, if you don't get the first point on like Hollywood, let's say, and the other team just steamrolls your ass and gets all the way to the last point, you don't even get the first one, you should be dropped down more in SR than the team that got the payload all the way to the end, but they just couldn't make it that last like 10 yards. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and quite frankly, it would be difficult to code, of course, but with the support situation, I think that the other player's performance should affect your SR. So if you have Reinhardt on your team, and he has a really low blocked damage percentage, then that means you can assume that he didn't do his job, and therefore you shouldn't be punished that bad. So everyone's loss of SR is reduced. Or, let's say you're a support main like Arden, and your DPS is not good. Like, your DPS is not getting the kills they need. If the game recognizes that the DPS's eliminations and damage is lower than it should be, and the healer's healing percentage is high, then that means the healer did really well, the DPS wasn't killing anything, it's not the healer's fault, therefore the healer should lose less SR. I think that would be really hard, but if you could compare statistics like that would make it a lot more fair. Rather than just wins and losses.
God, you're right. Just more variables, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. This was...
I think that's this podcast for the night.
That was our main topic. That was our huge topic for today.
Yeah, so congratulations to Arden for getting a new computer. I'm going to help her get the replacement matches if she wants that. But that's the results from my test, guys, with the new account. We've learned a lot. I think I'm not placed where I feel like I should be, but I don't regret my decision at all because I think I've learned a lot about where I stand because when I was stuck playing in silver and gold, I was never able to see what my true potential was. I didn't know what my maximum skill was because no individual player could match my DPS skill down in silver or gold. So I was just always better than everyone. So it was like, until I hit a ceiling, until someone's better than me, how do I know where I'm good, how good I am? So having played against these masters and grandmasters and diamonds, it's kind of reassured me that yes, I do belong up there. Like I'm able to fly with these high level people on the DPS range. So I'm happy to know where I stand finally, and I was able to experience what it was like playing with good players and stuff. So that experience was really valuable to me, and I know where I stand, and I know what I need to do to get better. So yeah, I'm happy about it.
So I think me and Arden have the same exact idea that we just wouldn't do it. For me, it's because of the fact that I would probably end up at like 2,400, maybe 2,500, maybe. Probably the same exact thing as Quintin. We're pretty much the same skill. He has a little bit more game knowledge, but I'm more mechanically intensive. So I think we would end up the exact same practically. So it's just not worth it to go from 2,000 to 2,400 in my opinion.
Yeah. But I'm hoping that on my new account, on my quick play, I'm still matched with diamonds and gold and masters. Like I hope. So if that's the case, if that's the case, then I do have hope of climbing. Because if I just keep working on my quick play MMR, my competitive rank should go up. Because if it's complicated, but the last thing I want to cover here is your quick play MMR. So obviously your SR doesn't go up when you win quick play matches, right? But if your quick play MMR is up here and your SR is down here, you get modifiers every time you win to level out. So you get more SR per win if your MMR is higher than your SR. So if I can, and obviously your MMR changes with your competitive as well. The quick play and competitive both affect your MMR. So if you're losing in competitive, your MMR drops as well. So if I just keep playing quick play and I keep doing well with these diamonds and masters players in platinums, then I should be okay. So I'm excited. Yeah, I think that's it for this podcast. Thank you guys for joining me. I know it's late in the night now, and you guys have made a great sacrifice.
Of course, all the time, baby.
So, thank you guys for watching and or listening. Make sure to check out all of our media, such as Cross Access Games and the Overwatch Talks channel, where I do some reviews and tutorials. So thank you guys. This has been Arden. This has been Ulysses. This has been Quintin. And we'll see you in the next podcast.
See you guys.
Goodbye.
Bye.